Managing partial VAT in MTD for accounting seed. Charities commonly use partial VAT, but it is also used in other organisations, such as the financial sector, where they make both tax-exempt and taxable supplies. For expenses related to taxable sales, you can claim the VAT, and with expenses directly related to exempt sales, you cannot. The problem comes with expenses such as administrative costs, which cannot be directly related to either exempt sales or taxable sales. These are allocated in proportion to the total exempt sales and the total taxable sales. To calculate the partial VAT, first we calculate the VAT that was not directly attributable to either exempt or taxable sales. This is called the residual input tax. Then we calculate the proportion that can be recovered from the sales figures, the recoverable residual rate, and calculate the recoverable residual tax amount, which can be added to box 4. These calculations are applied quarterly, but then recalculated using figures for the whole year on an annual basis. So let's see how we can do this in MTD for accounting seed. There are some extra tax groups added to the standard setup. One for marking indirect costs as residual VAT, and another for cost directly attributable to exempt sales. For tax-exempt sales, we use exempt VAT on sales rather than zero VAT. Let's see how we use these. This is an expense directly attributable to a tax-exempt sale. Expenses directly attributable to a taxable sale are handled in the normal way, whereas expenses that cannot be directly attributable are marked as residual VAT. Now let's look at VAT period processing. First, process the quarterly return. Scrolling down, we can see the partial adjustments. The recoverable residual rate is 37.6%, which we applied to the residual input tax of $5,000, which increases the box 4 value to $2,880. The return can now be closed and submitted to HMRC, but first let's look at the annual return. You process the annual return in the same way. The adjustment figures now include the annual adjustment. Now we can close the VAT return, which creates journal entries that include the partial VAT adjustments. Now we can submit the return to HMRC. That's it, job done. Everything you need for making tax digital built into Accounting Seed.